Love you.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Brad and Mira for the Culture. I'm Brad Listi here with Mira Gonzalez. Hi, Mira.
Hi, Brad.
How's everything going?
Everything's going all right. I'm feeling a little down today because we don't have the Baldwins to talk about. It's making me, how you say, also sad. ¿Cómo se dice sad?
Muy triste.
It's a sad thing.
Yeah, it does feel a little empty without Alec and Hilaria to entertain us, but we can keep our fingers crossed. I don't think we should hold our breath, but we can keep our fingers crossed that there will be a second season. I don't know if anyone's even talked about it in any kind of meaningful way.
I did get the insights from my friend on the inside who can give me the Nielsen ratings, and I can confirm that The Baldwins was the second least watched show on TLC.
Jesus.
So it's not great. It's not looking great for the Baldwins. It's bye-bye Boss Baby. We're gone.
It's a reality show. It was avant-garde. It's people will catch up to it. I don't think that the viewing public really understood what the Baldwins were going for. I think that the show was so innovative. It's so unorthodox in its delivery that people might not have been able to grasp the deeper meanings.
Yeah, I mean, we've never seen a reality show about a large, unruly family ever. That's brand new. So that's they're really breaking new ground, and I do think they're just ahead of their time.
And like a hapless celebrity dad, like patriarch.
Yeah, right. No, we've never seen that. Never, ever before. I mean, I guess the Kardashians' dad is dead, so we don't really see much of a dad in that show, but we have the Osbournes, and we have the entire Real Housewives series.
Ozzy's the first one to do it. He was like really the guy who kind of created the mold, right?
This is what I always say, is that like Sharon Osbourne said some really dumb shit this week, and I kind of fucking hate her ass, but she was like the original Kris Jenner. Like she like started the format, which like then Kris Jenner would take on and like use to become a fucking billionaire. Like, and like people don't really acknowledge this. Like it was the Osbournes. Yeah.
Yeah. What did she say? Sharon Osbourne pissed you off?
Well, so they, it was really dumb. Viewers, listeners will hopefully know that she's married to Ozzy Osbourne, former singer and best singer, I'll say, of Black Sabbath. The writers of the song War Pigs, for example. So she, Sharon Osbourne, came out and talked about the band Kneecap at Coachella having behind them while they were playing at Coachella. They're an Irish band, I believe. Behind them, they had a big sign, a big projection that said, "Fuck Israel, free Palestine." And Sharon Osbourne came out and basically said that it was disrespectful to the owners of Coachella to have political statements behind you while you are performing. And again, her husband is Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, come on, Sharon. Like, understand your brand. These are like punk rock, like lunatics who can say whatever they want, right? That's what rock stars are for.
Exactly. They're supposed to scare people, and they're supposed to like be anti-war and anti-establishment. Like, what the fuck? Like, you are literally married to Ozzy Osbourne, bitch. Like, what the hell?
And like, come on. Like, we just want the killing to stop. Just stop killing people. Why is this even a fucking controversy?
Why is it even a fucking controversy? Exactly. And it's like plenty of people are out here supporting Israel also. So like, who gives a fuck? But mostly, who gives a fuck about the owners of Coachella? Are they not making enough money? Is Sharon Osbourne concerned that the people who fucking own Golden Voice aren't getting like their fucking fifth yacht? Like, calm down. They didn't like do anything bad for attendance or for the fucking owners of Coachella. Who cares?
Yeah, those guys are fine.
Mm-hmm.
So today's episode is brought to everyone by Mary Sue Rucci Books, publisher of the novel Tilt by Emma Pattee. Tilt is the official April pick of my book club, the Otherppl book club. Yeah, it's a really riveting debut about a pregnant woman caught in the aftermath of a massive earthquake in the Pacific Northwest. It is terrifying. It's funny. It's psychologically knowing. It is shocking. It is intense. It's a page turner. All of that stuff. And I recommend it. I just talked with Emma Pattee on the podcast. We had a great conversation. I'm sure you've listened to it, Mira. I know you're a devoted.
I'm a devoted weekly listener of both of our podcasts, and I definitely don't just fully tune out both our podcast and your podcast.
Mira can't get enough. When she's not talking with me, she's listening to me talk to somebody else.
Brad said, but that's actually true for Brad. He will go on his special hikes in the morning and he will listen to our podcast and he'll be like texting me like, this part was so funny. And I was like, Brad, I was there. I know.
I'm paranoid about this stuff. I do QC. Someone's got to do QC on this show.
I'm not doing it, so it's better that somebody does it.
So, Mira, do we have any other sponsors who are bringing this episode to the people today?
In fact, Brad, we do. Thank you so much for asking. So I'm learning to do these reads a little bit less robotically. So welcome to this ad read. We're talking about Zona Motel. Have you ever heard of Zona Motel, Brad? It's not a motel.
Wait, what is Zona Motel?
It's not a motel. It's not a book. It is a literary publication and a brotherhood.
Whoa.
Yeah, so this is, to me, this is a classic sort of for writers, by writers, brotherhood of sort of exciting, different things that, I'm not describing well, but like things like hot gossip or like literary event dispatches, like the good shit is what is going to be on this, is what I'm gathering.
This is what the literary world needs. They need Zona Motel. They need
exactly.
a left of center kind of out there on the periphery publication that is covering independent presses and not
algorithm free, not too fussy, driven by a real love of books. It's not about projecting sales. It's about, partying at the Zona Motel with your brothers, right? Which is what we all want.
I wonder why they call it Zona Motel. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Tune in for the next ad read when we find out why it's called Zona Motel. And I encourage the creators, who are named Juliet Escoria, Misha Marin, and Lucy K. Shaw, to send us an email telling us what Zona Motel means. And we'll include it in our next ad read for our curious viewers.
Wait, so Juliet Escoria, Misha Marin, and Lucy K. Shaw are the founders of Zona Motel?
That is correct. They are the founders and the masters of the Brotherhood of Zona Motel, which you can find at zonamotel.substack.com. That's ZONA, Z as in zebra, ONA, motel.substack.com.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So it's been a busy week. It's been kind of a dark week. Even more so than usual. Like, I feel like the pop culture firmament is always a little bit weird and alarming, but this week I think is particularly grim.
Yeah, alarming is we love, look, it's not great for the world or whatever, I guess, but for our pop culture podcast, when shit hits the fan is when we thrive here at Brad and Mira for the Culture.
So what's happening, Mira? What do we have to discuss today?
It's good to do a warning in the beginning. I'm glad that you mentioned, because this is some weird shit that we're going to be covering for pretty much this entire episode, I'm realizing. So this might be the least weird one that we're covering, which is that everybody knows by the time this comes out, the Pope has died. Pope Francis, my dear Francisquito, beautiful man, he has died. He has kicked the bucket after several months of like, the Pope is doing really poorly. The Pope is on a ventilator. The Pope isn't on a ventilator. The Pope's okay. Oh, the Pope is dying again, for like a month or something like that. And now he has finally died.
Yeah, he had a stroke, they said. But
he had a stroke.
But did he really have a stroke is the question.
Well, here's the thing. So listeners might also know that the Pope met our vice president, the squishy baby-faced eyeliner wearing JD Vance, right before he died. Now, a lot of people are saying JD Vance killed the Pope. But I have another theory. Okay, my theory here is that JD Vance did not, in fact, kill the Pope. Rather, the Pope killed himself immediately after meeting JD Vance, which I would do too.
Interesting.
Who wouldn't? It's like just kind of the reasonable thing to do. If JD Vance had shook my hand, I probably also would kill myself. Very clear case of suicide. No note, same thing I would do.
JD Vance really does wear eyeliner, right? It looks like he does.
a lot of people say like, oh, he wears eyeliner. I'm going to come in here and say, no, he doesn't. What he does have is what many women, I think we maybe talked about last episode, of getting your eyelashes done. Many women go to beauty salons for treatments to get their eyelashes to be as full and thick and beautiful as JD Vance's. And he's just naturally got them. And it looks like he's wearing eyeliner.
He's such a weirdo. And
he's such a weirdo. And clearly it's like, I feel like when the Pope met him, it was like the scene in Mulholland Drive that we talk about where the guy comes out of the dumpster and then out from behind the dumpster and then he falls and kind of collapses and almost dies. I mean, that's gotta be the general reaction to meeting JD Vance, like not for just the Pope.
I want to say that the people, like the Vatican officials, were like, no, you can't come in, JD. Like the Pope is sick. And JD's like, fuck it, I'm coming in. I'm the vice president.
Really?
I think so. I think he kind of like muscled his way in there. And then the Pope, from what I read, sent one of his like, secretaries or one of his like his, what do you call them? His executives. Yeah, his executives.
Popettes.
Yeah, his popettes to go out and meet with JD Vance. But then eventually he conceded to spending like 10 minutes with JD Vance. And he's like feeling like shit. And then like 12 hours later, he's dead. Basically.
He shoots himself right in the head. He just takes a gun, puts it in his mouth, fires the trigger. Less than 48 hours later, haunted by the vision of JD Vance, unable to sleep, unable to eat, has to end it.
Just like he hanged himself with a papal sash in the Vatican bedroom, or he was in the Pope mobile in the garage and he turned the ignition on and just they found the Pope in the Pope mobile with the engine running. It was
he was
tragic.
nude because he had to use his papal robes to seal all of the cracks underneath the door, Sylvia Plath style. So the Pope, he's killed himself.
Yeah, but let's just say too, I do like as insofar as like popes go, like in the Pope
he's
spectrum.
Pretty good.
I was gonna say, like, listen, this is all relative. There's a lot of things I would change about this Pope if I had the ability, but like, compared to like Benedict, who looked like a villain from Star Wars or whatever, right? He was like Emperor Palpatine. Yeah,
dude, he looked fucked up.
The bar is so pathetically low for the Catholic Church, where it's like, listen, Benedict or Francis didn't have any direct knowledge or didn't have any kind of involvement at all with the systemic child rape scandal that plagued the church for decades.
Yeah, I don't think that he knew about it, and I certainly he was definitely less protective of he didn't actively hide it either. He didn't, and the bar is so low, so low for popes that it's we can't expect him to be pro-abortion. That's never going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So being pro-Palestine is truly one of the best things we can ask for, and he really was. And he anti-war. That's
anti-war, and he understands that climate change is a grave threat to all of existence.
That it exists, yeah.
And he and as the leader of the Catholic Church, he wants as a priority to protect the interests of the poor and the needy and the least among us. And it's okay, but that's I feel that should just be
the best that you can hope for, and it should be every pope. It seems why are we even having to be concerned that the pope is not going to be for the poor? Isn't that the whole point? Isn't that the entire thing? What is the point of the pope if he's I like the rich people more?
This is
camel through an eye of a needle, my man.
This is a good pope. He didn't cover up systemic child rape. I mean, this is really a guy that we can look up to.
He doesn't think gay people should be tortured and killed.
Yeah, exactly.
He thinks that they're a little distasteful, maybe keep it to yourself, but he doesn't think that they should die in Guantanamo Bay.
That's right.
Papa Francisco, my boy, we'll miss you. First Latino Pope, shout out. That's my man. Who do we nominate for the next Pope? That's what I'm wondering. Who's going to be the next Pope? I have some ideas.
Go for it.
I got a couple ideas. Obviously there are, the people in the papacy, the people in the conclave who are the people you actually have to vote for. And among them, I like the Filipino one. He's my favorite. But among
why? I don't even know. I don't know the other card. I don't know who the candidates are at all.
So there's, I saw a little what do you call it, infographic with all of the different popes that you can elect. Not that we can elect, that they can elect. And it shows like basically like on a spectrum how conservative or how not conservative they are. And then so like in the middle, there's like the progressive candidates basically. And those are the ones that are generally endorsed by my uncle Francisco. And they, among them, I think there's 3 progressive ones, and then there's like 3 conservative ones, and then there's 3 whatever other ones they were. I don't remember. Among the ones who are progressive, the Filipino one, I want to say, is the most directly endorsed by Pope Francis. The one who he like wants to be his successor, which to me is probably a good sign. He's also, much like Francisco, for the poor, and that's his primary thing. So I'm into it.
I'll take for the poor. I feel like I need to watch the movie Conclave. I am kind of intrigued by the way the popes are selected and all the politicking.
You would love Conclave. I've watched it twice now because I rewatched it yesterday after having a long day. I just came home and I was like, oh, the Pope died. Conclave again. So good. It's like the Real Housewives of the Vatican. It's like incredible. There's so much. They're gossiping. They're printing out like secret files and then handing them out to the conclave. And they're like, who printed out these files? Why are we all looking at them now? And they're pointing out the wrongs of different other members of the conclave. It seems like it would be Oscar slop, but it's actually incredible. And then you have like Isabella Rossellini in there with her like nun robe coming in all sassy, saying like little facts and then walking out the door. It's an incredible movie. But then you also get to see all the beautiful architecture and the crazy Pope outfits. Stylish. The Catholic Church is very stylish.
I mean, it's gay, isn't it? Isn't it a little gay? Like the robes and the smoke and
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, I think any institution that involves like a bunch of men wearing matching outfits is just a little gay. It's like always going to be. The Nazis, like, gay in a bad way, but like still kind of like fruity. Why do you want to match with your friends in your little shorts or whatever? It's kind of similar with the popes. You're matching in your little dresses and you're all sitting down with your special little pens and your paper and your stationery.
Well, and then I want to say most popes wear those like Gucci. They wear like the red Gucci like Pope shoes or whatever. Like the real. I don't know if they're Gucci.
Are they literally Gucci? Oh, damn.
But they might be. They might as well. There's something. They're like might be Prada, but they're like really like nice like designer Pope loafers. But Francis, to his credit, wouldn't wear them. He just wore like his what do you call it? His Rockports.
Because he's for the poor, like Jesus.
That's right.
He'd probably go barefoot if he was allowed.
Yeah.
But God forbid he step on a piece of glass and, get tetanus or something like that. Instead, he had to hang himself because he met J.D. Vance.
When are we going to know who the next pope is? Do we have a timeline?
Well, it's whenever the conclave decides, the conclave has to have, this I learned from conclave last night. I'm probably going to even get it wrong, but I think it's a 2/3 majority to win the papacy. And then they have the first round. And if that one doesn't get a 2/3 majority, then white smoke comes out of the top of the building. And then once they'll keep doing these rounds of votes over and over and over again. And they'll bring in, I believe, more members of the more cardinals as they go through the voting process to try to get various. So they're like basically like lobbying within themselves during the voting process to try to get people elected as they see like, okay, this person is never going to have the majority and this person is, so let's go behind this person even though they're not pick number one, and then rallying other people to get behind them. And meanwhile, everybody is also electable among these people. So it's a real drama. So there's real drama happening up in there right now.
What color is the smoke when the Pope is chosen? Is it red? What do they do?
It's black. Red would be cooler, but it's black.
Black when he's chosen?
Yeah. White until he's chosen, and then black when he's chosen.
Black? Why'd they go with black when he's chosen? Black smoke to represent the Pope?
Catholics are kind of goth. You got to say for them, like they're a little bit goth in their whole style and their whole thing. You got to appreciate it about them. The aesthetics are pretty much the one thing about Catholicism that I do appreciate.
All these dudes. It's all dudes, right? It's just dudes in a room.
Dudes, yeah. Absolutely. There's nuns who work in the Vatican, like Isabella Rossellini and in Conclave, but they don't get to be part of the voting or anything like that. But they do have to like iron the special papal clothes and shit like that. And that is pretty cool. But they don't get to do anything now.
Did we talk about, I feel like I can't remember if I was talking to you about it or if I was talking to somebody else, but Giancarlo Di Trapano, the late great. Yeah, he I want to say he tweeted something once because he lived in Italy towards the end of his life, and he was tweeting that the Catholics would never like open up the church to gay marriage and like would never like formally accept gay people because all the closeted gay priests in Vatican City are like having such hot sex. Like it's like too good. It's too good. If they opened it up, it would be like, this is not even fun anymore. It's not, the deviance is gone.
Right. It's like the fun of it is that they are in the closet about it and that it's like the special club that other people can't get into. And that's just for them. Just
like, I mean, these like really handsome Italian priests who are, God only knows what's going on. God only knows what's going on in Vatican City.
I mean, anal sex, I think is fair to say, at least at minimum.
So who are you going to nominate for the Pope? Because it's clear that we need somebody, we need to think outside the box. I don't think
that's so true.
Whoever's in the conclave, because the Pope is going to emerge from the conclave, like one of the conclavees is the Pope, right?
Yeah, exactly. Once they emerge from the conclave, they'll say, okay, this guy, we've elected him Pope. It's somebody who went into there is going to be the Pope. And there's, people who are the forerunners. But frankly, I think that we need a female Latina Pope. That's my feeling. We need a girl Latina Pope. And I know exactly who I'm going to nominate. Hilaria Baldwin.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We need a girl Latina Pope, and I'm not talking about myself. I am talking about Hilaria Baldwin. And what's great about this nomination is that she can be Italian if she wants to. She already went from being from Boston to being from Spain. So all she has to do is be from Italy now. It's a similar language, a similar accent. I think that she would be great.
She's got dogs named Cappuccina and Macchiata, right? What is
How charming.
Yeah, she's ready to be the Pope.
She looks great in white.
She's got the shoes somewhere in her closet.
She's got all the shoes, I'm sure, right? I'm sure she's got the shoes, and she's got, lots of charisma to spare, lots of joy for the world.
What would happen to Alec if she became Pope? Would she have to leave him behind to take on her papal duties?
I mean, it seems like the Pope can't get married, but maybe Alec could be like the first lady of popes, like the first man of the papacy. It could be like the Hillary Clinton of the papacy.
I feel like Hilaria would be a breath of fresh air. I hope they're listening. I hope people in Vatican City are listening. I would nominate, after giving this a lot of thought, I would nominate Mel Gibson as the leading Catholic contender from Hollywood. I feel like he's really been working for this for a long time.
Yeah, terrifying, violent.
Slightly.
A little bit off the fucking wire, just not quite all there. A little, it could pop off at any time.
Who are the famous Catholics in Hollywood? It's like Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg could potentially be
Mark Wahlberg,
a papal candidate.
Wow, Marky Mark and the papal bunch.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Hey, say hello to your mother.
There's got to be other Catholic famous people, but they're really not that many. I don't know.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Let's wheel him in there.
Right. Let's just get now that we have a dead pope, we need a dying pope, and let's get Joe Biden in there. He won't even know where he is. He'll think it's the White House. It'll be totally fine.
Well, that's the other thing. They're gonna, this conclave is gonna produce like another 70-year-old pope. Like Francis didn't become pope until he was 70.
He's old as fuck.
What are you doing making a 70-year-old person the Pope? Like get somebody who's like 50 or 40 in there and give them some runway, I mean,
have you ever seen The Young Pope?
Is that the Jude Law? Is that what it is? No, yeah. I didn't see it. Yeah.
I mean, it's so much weirder than it sounds, and just like it's incredible. I think it's one of my favorite shows maybe of all time, but it does hinge on the idea of there being a young pope who's like 40 something and Jude Law and like extremely hot, and like everybody is like losing their mind for him, just like fucking wearing shirts with his face on it, like having his face on their nails and just going fucking crazy. I mean, hot pope is really what we need.
Yeah, let's get a hot pope.
Yeah, we need a sexy pope. I mean, the young pope has 2 seasons, the young pope and the new pope, I want to say. And the second season is John Malkovich as the Pope, which is also great. But that's kind of a refined taste to find John Malkovich super hot at this point in his life, I guess. It's not quite Jude Law.
I feel like John Malkovich he's a much less problematic human being from what I know, but I feel like he and Mel Gibson have the same thing where, like, on screen anyway, it seems like at any moment they could eat your face off. Like...
True.
Either one of them could cannibalize you at any moment.
There's like an edginess to their on-screen personas that does make you feel like you're never quite safe. There's like always a possibility of something going awry and terrifying happening.
Yeah, but but John Malkovich, I feel like there's like an intellectual component to it. Like he's like sinister and like there's like a brilliance to him, like in a Hannibal Lecter-y kind of way, where he's like very like hyper intelligent, whereas like Mel Gibson's just bonkers.
Right, Mel Gibson's just insane. He's like a bear. He's just gonna fucking fuck your shit up. Whereas like John Malkovich is gonna like stalk you and find you and like get you in a much more sinister kind of way. Although he doesn't feel like personally as bad.
John Malkovich enunciates so intensely.
You're almost Christopher Walken right now. It's like close.
But Christopher Walken does the same thing where he talks in this rhythm and you kind of feel like he might eat your goddamn face off.
That is one of your better impressions, I gotta say. That's a good one. It's weird. I know a lot of people who have great Christopher Walken impressions, that in particular for some reason. I guess he's just got a very specific way of talking. I wonder if his old gay ass will ever tell us how Natalie Wood died.
Yeah, we're never going to get an answer. And no. Isn't Mel Gibson shooting his sequel to Passion of the Christ in like Rome? Isn't that where he's going to be doing it? I think
he is. Yeah.
Maybe he'll be in the conclave. They'll bring him in as like a celebrity guest.
The conclave having a celebrity guest is so funny.
Honestly, that's where the world is heading. We're going to find out that Jim Caviezel is the new pope. They're just going to be like, fuck it. Make the guy who played Jesus in the movie the next pope.
Jim Caviezel. Jim Caviezel Pope. Let's go. That's going to be the 3rd season of The Young Pope. Jim Caviezel Pope.
But, you know what I will say strategically? I did read I didn't read a ton about the death of Pope Francis, but I did read that he, over the course of his papacy. I've
been saying papacy, but I'm not sure.
I think it's papacy, but over the course of his reign, he appointed 80% of the cardinals in the conclave.
Yeah.
So you would think that he did
They're
so
probably gonna
strategically.
Yeah, I think when you look at all of the possible candidates for Pope, I think generally speaking, there's a couple really, really intense, like super conservative ones, but for the most part, they're probably more left-leaning in general and like more okay than who was the one before Francis? Benedict. Yeah. Like, and by the way, what does left-leaning mean in that context? It's not like... It just means, right, exactly. It means like you want like there to be the existence of immigrants is okay. And like, let's support poor people in a idealistic kind of sense.
And climate change is real.
And climate change is real. But besides that, it's like, trans people, gays, we don't know. Abortion, absolutely not. Birth control, probably not.
Good God. All right. Well, it'll be interesting. We'll be covering the Conclave, I would imagine. I'm going to watch the movie Conclave, too. I feel like I should do that.
Yeah, we should do a report on both the Conclave and the movie Conclave. I want to hear how you feel about it afterwards, because I just, I loved it so much I watched it twice.
It would be really funny, Mira, if we did a GoFundMe. Maybe our listeners would send us to Rome so we can cover the Conclave live.
Brad and Mira live at the Vatican.
Yeah, this is Mira. This is Brad Listi and Mira Gonzalez live here at St. Peter's Square, where black smoke has issued from the Sistine Chapel.
The crowd goes wild. I mean, look, I don't not have Catholic roots either. The Mexican side of my family is all completely Catholic. Catholic to the point of, I've probably said this on this podcast before, but I have, last time we counted, literally 51 cousins in Mexico.
Jesus Christ.
Due to the lack of birth control, due to the extreme Catholicism. So, I mean, I could just harken back to those roots that I never really, knew or met until I was like 12.
Yeah, it's insane. The whole thing. It's so fascinating. I guess this has just been going on forever.
It is fascinating, though, because it's like a deeply, deeply secret procedure or whatever protocol that they have with the conclave and the electing of the new pope. So it's like you can never really truly know what's going on in there, which is why I guess conclave is so fun, because it's like it's a very accurate depiction of what's going on in the conclave specifically, which is fun to see. And it is like exactly as gossipy as you would imagine. It's incredible. And
well, it's just like some junior high electing class president. It's just
right, exactly.
It's what I'm saying. It's every bit as like petty and probably insular and kind of, what's the word? Like strategic and all that kind of stuff. It's like a popularity contest to pick out who's the pope. That's it.
Did you know that I was the president of my middle school? I was the junior high president.
I was the speaker of the house in my senior class. I was not the president, but I was whatever the speaker of the house means. I was the second in command.
That's funny. Yeah, I was the student body president. I had a method where our school was K through 12, so everybody could vote, and so I cornered the kindergarten demographic, and I brought candy to all of their classes, and I passed it out with a little note in it that said, like, vote for Mira. And I got the vote of like every single kindergartner in the whole fucking place, and like first grader or whatever. I went for the little kids, like just straight up bribes. And I won. Like,
damn.
3 years? I think it was for all of junior high, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I won a Senate seat. I think it was my freshman or my sophomore year, and my entire campaign was that I was an asshole. It was like it was just like reverse psychology, because in our junior high, it was junior high when I was a freshman when the campaign was, and you could put signs up like on the walls of the junior high, like for these elections. So like everyone's like, vote for so and so. She's a shining star. Like she'll help you. Like vote for Billy. Billy wants to make your life better. And then like my entire campaign was just like, I'm a monster, basically. Like just kind of made a joke of it, and I won.
What was your tagline? What were your posters? It
was like, he's a jerk. I honestly can't remember. It was like that though, and then I have
That's so funny.
My friend, what did he win? Was he a senator? I have one of my good buddies is named Patrick Hart, and we ran his campaign. And we cut out these little paper hearts, and then we wrote, "I have a heart on," HART, and everybody wore them.
It's real bro hours. That's very funny though. That's in terms of campaigns for student body president, you kind of got to do that. I had like, big posters that had slogans on them that I don't even fully remember. They were mostly like jokes. And then I had little ones that just said like, vote for Mira. And I would put the little ones all around other people's posters. So like they would have a frame around somebody else's poster that said vote for Mira. And I did this to like all the posters in the school. And so did the other people running my campaign, which is an asshole thing to do, even though I was not campaigning on the asshole campaign.
Yeah, I recommend the asshole campaign if you're out there looking for a strategy. But
I mean, really, truly the best strategy if you're running for student body president is being the two proms candidate. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, don't be the two proms candidate. Like, don't just be like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck you want. That is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a student body president. Say, we're getting 2 proms, we're getting a longer spring break, we're getting vending machines at every classroom that are also free for us. We're going to have access to the teacher's lounge. Just go fucking nuts. Promise whatever the fuck. They'll vote for you every year, over and over again. They're idiots.
Yeah, my public high school in Indiana, the year before, I think it was the year before I got there, They had a smoking lounge for students.
What?
It was outdoors. Yeah. It's like there was a dedicated smoking lounge for students in high school.
That's crazy.
Totally.
I mean, I guess it's not that crazy. I went to private school in LA and we had a smoking corner that everyone went to. That was just the corner outside the street in our school.
But it wasn't sanctioned by the school. Like, it wasn't on school.
No, yeah. It wasn't on campus. Well, my school didn't have a campus. It was in an office building. But no, it was not a sanctioned on-campus area to smoke. Like, certainly not.
So fucked up. But what else is happening? Let's continue to cover the week in pop culture.
This week in pop culture. Well, we're starting the weird stories now. So this story is about the wife of the bassist of the band Weezer, which you'll know for many songs such as Hash Pipe, Beverly Hills. Do they do the Sweater Unravel song? If you want to destroy my sweater. Or
I look just like Buddy Holly.
That's the main one. And then Mary Tyler Moore. I don't care. So the bassist of Weezer has a wife who is named Jillian Lauren, and she was. This is a complicated story. So she was booked for attempted murder after allegedly pointing her handgun at a police officer. So there was a chase going on where the police officers were looking for a hit and run suspect near this woman, Jillian Lauren's home.
Was it a hit and run? Is that what that was all that it was just like a hit and run?
I think it was a hit and run where someone died. So it was like they were pursuing somebody who had just like hit someone with their car and then ran away, and that there was a dead person. And I think it was 3 suspects in a hit and run. And they only got one of them, I think, in the end. So there was this chase happening. It was right near where I live in Los Angeles. And they were pursuing a hit and run suspect. And it was, I guess, happening in the backyard of her neighbor's house. And then allegedly, for some reason, she pointed a gun at officers as she was in the backyard of her own residence. So the officers ordered her to drop the handgun numerous times. However, she refused. This is what the cops are saying, and I don't necessarily believe it. So the police then fired at her after she had pointed the handgun at officers, striking her in the shoulder. So she was injured, but she's okay. And they said that initially following it, they said that it was unclear if she had actually fired at the officers. But then on Thursday, for some reason, they said that they found evidence, including a shell casing and video footage that they believe showed that she fired her weapon at the officers. So we all know that I don't believe cops. And so I don't really believe that she actually fired at the officers, to be honest. I think they just shot her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a matter of journalistic ethics, I need to mention that I know Jillian and Scott a little bit. I've interviewed Jillian on my podcast years ago, and I've done events here in town, like where Scott has played music, and I've met them both. They're both nice people. Oh,
wow.
Yeah, this whole story is so fucking crazy. I don't understand it.
Does she strike you as somebody who would like go Grand Theft Auto mode, just like GTA 5, and fucking bust out her gun and shoot at some cops who are in a chase that is totally unrelated to her?
No, like that's not like the vibe I ever got. But I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in years. I don't know what state she's in. I mean, maybe if she was in some sort of like mental health crisis or something that we knew about, then okay. But I haven't heard anything like that. I know that she had been fighting cancer. I read that somewhere.
But that's not a mental health crisis. Exactly. To me, this story reads as like like she didn't shoot anybody and it was some kind of, I'm not even going to give the cops the benefit of saying mix up. I think they probably just like fucked up and shot somebody and are trying to cover their ass now.
By the way, I feel like this is the ultimate story for you, Mira. It's just like the idea of like a cops showing up outside of someone's house and like the woman just coming out with a gun and just like
just fucking shooting them up, raining bullets on them.
for those of you listening for the first time, Mira like really has an issue with cops of all kinds. She's not a fan. And
I'm truly not a fan.
So I guess that begs the question, like, have you started manufacturing free Jillian t-shirts? Are you going to get a tattoo? Are you going to, like, does the movement start with you? Is that what's going to happen?
I mean, I have a tattoo appointment booked for tomorrow for my forehead. Just it's going to say, free Jillian or Jillian innocent is what it's going to say. Like, do you like how I read this story? And my instant read on it was cops are lying. She didn't do anything wrong. The end. Even though the headline is that she shot at cops.
The thing is that none of it adds up. Like,
it doesn't add up.
You have it. Okay. So like, let's just try to deal with the facts. You have this hit and run. Somebody gets killed on the highway. And then the people in the car that hit somebody, right, that killed this person, flee on foot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're running through this neighborhood and there's a chase. And they wind up in Jillian's yard or in her neighbor's yard.
In her neighbor's backyard, but right
somewhere,
next to her house.
Somewhere close. And then there's like a chopper flying over the house. And I don't know how Jillian would have found out that there were people on the loose who the cops were chasing, but it wouldn't be tough. I live in LA. When there's somebody, like in my neighborhood, this has happened where like there's a break-in and then there's a police chopper that'll just circle right above the scene. And it's like very clear that something's going down. And then you check the
Citizen app.
Yeah, you check the Citizen app and it's like, oh, there was a break-in three blocks over or whatever. So
if she heard someone in her yard, and she knew that there was these people on the loose and she was afraid or something, even if she just heard somebody in her yard or her neighbor's yard and she just came out with a gun to try to, make sure that they get scared and they run away. I feel like that happened and then they just shot her.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, it's very hard knowing what I know. And it's not a ton. I got to say, I don't know her well, but I do know her. I cannot imagine her in this situation. There's somebody on the loose. There's cops chasing. And so she's going to walk outside with a handgun and like start firing at cops. That makes no sense to me. And there is a quote that I flagged, and it's Perez Hilton talking, so take it with a grain of salt. But he says, quote, "I just found out something that totally changes things. If what is alleged is true, a neighbor of Jillian's says that they were an eyewitness to the moment and that Jillian could not visually see the police officers, that she believed that this man that escaped the hit and run and was the subject of a manhunt was in her backyard. So she was working under the assumption that there was an intruder on her property and it was self-defense."
Exactly.
So that makes more sense to me, that like she was scared and like came out of the house with this gun, like, holy shit, is somebody gonna attack me? And the cops saw her with the gun and then just one of them fired because they're panicking or whatever, and
right.
Thank God they only hit her in the shoulder. I don't even know. It sounds like the gunshot or the gun wound, what do you call it? The gunshot wound was minimal. Like, it didn't seem like it really fucked her up all that bad.
Yeah, it seems minimal, but it also means that they were like aiming to try to fucking kill her, because that's like in your shoulder. If you're far away and you're shooting someone, it could easily be anywhere else, like your chest or whatever.
That's bonkers. Thank God that the cop wasn't a better shot. I mean, can you imagine if this woman walks outside of her house and gets shot? The whole thing is a mess, and I want to see body cam footage. Don't we deserve that as citizens? Like, where's the body cam footage?
They're claiming there's video that proves that she shot first, but we haven't seen it. No one's shown any video.
What would you do, Mira, if there was a similar scene unfolding? You don't have a gun.
I've got a lot of guns. No, I don't. I'm scared of guns. I've never touched one in my life.
But like, what would you do if there was like a manhunt happening in your neighborhood and there were like a SWAT team outside your house? Would you just stay inside, or would you go outside and start talking shit? Like, I don't know how you would. Like, I feel like you're very hostile towards officers of the law.
If they're not in my house, if they're outside my house, I'm just gonna fucking close the door and hide and probably film them from inside my house is probably what I would do, and just not go out there, because I know that there's a whole SWAT team with fucking guns and they're probably going to pop off at any moment. And like, I don't want to know. But If it's like a SWAT team like at my door, like I'm going to say like, I don't consent to this search. You don't have a warrant. Get the fuck out of my house. No, I don't consent. Blah, blah, blah. And like, what are you booking me for? What the fuck is going on?
Jeez. I mean, and it's like, it's a hit and run. That's not a good thing. Somebody loses their life. It's, that's bad. And then they're running.
Yeah.
And you do have to go get these guys. Like, right. Like you can't just let somebody hit somebody and kill them.
Right.
But
and then sadly, I mean, the only thing about this that sucks is that if Jillian did shoot, she didn't get the cop. And that sucks.
I just don't understand. I cannot imagine her walking out of her house and just be like, fuck it. And just like,
That's like, you read this and it literally seems like she is in the video game Grand Theft Auto. She's just coming out with the gun. She's shooting the cops. She's getting 4 stars. And now the helicopters are coming after her, like, for no reason. Just because she's there, because she can. And that doesn't make any sense.
Wasn't there like a nanny or like a babysitter with her or something like that?
Yeah, they originally said that like she held the nanny hostage or something like that. There was like somebody in her house also who was like held hostage, and then eventually they both came out. Like, hostage? I'm sorry? Like, what?
She wasn't she wasn't holding a hostage.
She was just the nanny. She was just there.
I want to find out the facts. When are we going to learn the facts? I guess this has got to go to trial. That would be, but they'll probably settle this. This feels like the kind of thing where there's going to be a plea deal, and it's going to be like, if you agree not to sue us, because this is the thing. If Jillian is innocent, she came outside with a gun because she thought there was an intruder on her property or she was scared. And then some cop saw her with a gun and just shot at her and hit her in the shoulder. They could sue the LAPD for an absolute fortune. Like, they would get paid out huge.
And they've got like enough lawyers enough money to hire lawyers who can really do it too.
And they should. If that's really what happened, like, I would sue.
Absolutely, they should. Get your fucking money. That's fucked up. They shot her. Like, Jesus Christ. It's completely fucked. And even if she was pointing her gun outside of her house, she's allowed to have her gun on her property. That's like, sorry, we still have the right to bear arms or whatever. She's allowed to do that. That's not illegal. And they're not allowed to shoot people just because they have a gun.
Do LAPD officers have to wear body cams?
I believe so, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if they necessarily have to have it turned on or whatever the fuck. Like, They can do whatever the fuck they want.
I want to see the body cam. I want to see some footage of this. I want to know. I need to know what happened.
Yeah, I want to see some fucking video. I don't believe the cop story at all, and we have not heard from her, so...
She's getting good legal advice if she's keeping quiet, I would imagine.
Totally. I think that's right. Her keeping quiet, I think, is evidence. And they also put up like $1 million something bond. So like, clearly they've got the money. Like, and the fact that the bond was so high, I think, shows that the cops know who these people are and that she's a famous person. So they're trying to get their money. But if they don't have the fucking video to back it up, I hope that she sues big time.
Well, I hope she does, hope she's okay. Hope her shoulder is okay. And, I don't know, like, best wishes to them. Like, I just don't, there's just no way that she's like some crazed cop killer. I don't see that at all.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't, I mean, like, I hate the police as much as anybody could hate the police almost. I really, really hate the police, but that doesn't mean that you're going to go out and like shoot at a police officer. Like, that's crazy. Like, you'd have to be in active psychosis or something like that for that to happen. You would have to be literally going insane.
Which I guess in today's world is always a possibility. But in that case, like, it's just like, okay, this person's not in their right mind, So it's just, I can't think of a story as crazy as this one. It doesn't make any sense. Usually there's celebrities or like, celebrity adjacent people who commit crimes all the time or who get caught up in the legal system all the time. Usually it's very linear. Like, there's a logic to it that's very easy to understand. And this is just not an understandable story.
Yeah. Or they're like drunk in public, or they're like, getting aggressive or something. You see a video of it or whatever the fuck. It's usually public intoxication, to be honest.
Like Haley Joel Osment getting wrestled to the ground at a California ski resort. Well, that's a story we didn't decide to cover, but there's video of him. Didn't he get arrested for like disorderly conduct? Or?
He got arrested because because he was drunk at a ski resort and then tried to board a ski lift with a backwards helmet and no skis. And they stopped him, and then he like called the cops a Nazi. He was like, "You guys are fucking Nazis. You're fucking torturing me. I'm literally being fucking tortured. Like, you're gonna regret this."
Just hammered. It was daylight. It was just hammered in the middle of the day at a ski resort.
Hammered. I mean, and it's like, okay, like, I thought this was America. Like, okay, now I can't be drunk at a ski resort boarding a ski lift backwards with a backwards helmet. I mean, and no skis. Like, I literally thought this was a free country.
He paid for his lift ticket. Let the man board the lift.
He might have not paid for his lift ticket, but again, this is a free country. This is America. Like, sorry for party rocking.
This is the adorable child actor from The Sixth Sense, right?
Yeah, I see dead people.
I see Nazis.
I love that movie. I saw that movie far too young, and it fucked me up pretty bad. But now I love horror movies, so I don't really know how that happened. Probably not great.
I think he lost his house in the Palisades fire.
Oh, did he? That's
so maybe
sad.
he's been. I think that's part of his defense. You know, it's like, I was hammered. I've been having a bad time, and
which makes a lot of sense to me. I would certainly be getting hammered. Like, that's fucking hard, dude. That's not like losing your whole fucking house. Fuck.
I don't know if you'd be getting hammered. I feel like you would be just like smoking enough pot to like sedate like a rhinoceros. Like, it would just be.
That's absolutely true, because that's how much it takes to sedate me, which is what I would need to do, is simply sedate myself.
Mira's 250 milligram gummy solution.
That's just like a Tuesday. I mean, you'd have to go much higher than that. No, that's a joke. That's a lot for me, even.
in one sitting. You could spread that out.
In one sitting. Yeah, I mean, and even I'm saying it's a lot for me. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't take it if offered. Like, that would be fun. I wouldn't mind it, but it's not like I would sit here and just be like, I'm going to take 250 milligrams all at once. Unless I'm having a really bad time, in which case maybe I would. You know, sometimes you need to.
You need a free Jillian t-shirt and a free Haley Joel Osment t-shirt.
Exactly. Exactly. And sadly, our next story is not somebody who I feel I'm going to wear a t-shirt with their name on it anytime soon or anytime ever. And that is famous anti-Semite, not Mel Gibson, but Kanye West. So getting into this story is it's been a weird week, you guys. It's been a really weird week. Things are strange this week. If there's any astrologers out there who listen to the show and want to tell us, like, if the fucking Mercury is in Gatorade or whatever it is, like, let me know.
In Gatorade?
It feels like it. In retrograde.
Did you just say this, the Mercury's in Gatorade?
Yeah, I did. I don't know a lot about astrology.
Mercury's in Gatorade, you guys. Mercury's
in Gatorade. We're all fucked. Everything's weird, and that is why in our next.
Wait a minute, is Kanye going to be Pope? Is that what you're about to tell me? Is that?
It would honestly be a little bit less troubling than the story that I am going to tell you, which is that Kanye West has revealed in the form of a tweet that he TMZ is saying sexually experimented with his cousin, who is now incarcerated. Now, his tweet kind of explains it, and Brad, I am gonna ask you if you can read this Kanye West tweet in the voice of Alec Baldwin for me.
Oh, I would be delighted, Mira, to read this tweet from Kanye West in the voice of Alec Baldwin. I can't even believe this tweet exists. This might be. I
laugh at it, but it's like, what the fuck?
This is the end of Twitter. This is the end. This is it. We've reached the bottom. Like, we always wondered if we would ever hit it. Like, the pop culture just nadir, and this. But
also, how many times have we said that already? Like, been like, this is the bottom. We've reached the bottom, and we've said that with Kanye specifically, like 3 times. When he walked outside in a swastika shirt, we were like, I mean, this is the bottom. He can't possibly get any lower. And now, I mean. All right, so Brad, it's Alec Baldwin. Let's hear the tweet.
This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't, quote, look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Tweet sent.
No, tweet sent is part of the tweet. He did write out tweet sent.
My name is Ye, and I blew my cousin until I was 14. That's it.
Tweet sent.
Yeah, tweet sent.
I mean, I don't know. It's like this man continues. He does like the worst thing ever of all time. And then a week later, you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize that there was a worse thing than the thing he did. But now I see it. And this tweet is confusing because it doesn't say that he is older than the cousin or the cousin is older than him or who initiated it. It doesn't say anything about like who was doing the abusing versus being abused or if that was anything. I don't know what the point of this tweet is. I have no idea.
I think that it's just very clear he needs to be hospitalized. That's all you can say. Like we've been saying this for weeks. Like put the man in an institution and medicate him.
I know a lot of people say this and we've been saying it, but truly this man is schizophrenic and he is hallucinating and he is losing his fucking mind. I mean, he's going insane. Like, not that this is a lie. I don't think this is a lie, but I think he's going fucking crazy. So he also, this tweet, I guess you could call it, God Help Us All, promo for his new song called Cousins.
I mean, it's true though. Like, that's why I'm laughing.
It's literally true.
The first line of the tweet is, this song is called, so he's promoting a song off his new album by confessing to everybody that he blew his cousin for a decade. Right?
Yes, that's literally what's hanging. And he dropped this song about his cousin that has it just has the lyrics that you would exactly expect. Hanging with my cousin, reading dirty magazines. We saw some kissing, I know what that shit means, so we start reenacting everything we'd seen. That's when I gave my cousin head, gave my cousin head, gave my cousin head, gave my cousin head, I gave my cousin head, I gave my cousin head.
Wait, those are actual lyrics?
Correct. Those are the first lyrics of the song. And so it's a song promo. He's promoting a song about sucking his cousin's dick by telling everyone that he sucked his cousin's dick.
You have Taylor Swift announcing, what is it called? Not Dead Poets Society. What is it called?
Tortured Poets Society.
Tortured Poets Society at the Grammys, right? She's like dropping the news of a new album at the Grammys to promote it and to create a sensation. You have Beyonce like surprising everyone with like an album release, like by, I think she announced it on Twitter, right? It's like, get ready, like it's coming tomorrow. And then, it starts to devolve. And then you have Katy Perry announcing her album and her new tour in space on that Jeff Bezos rocket. And then not to be outdone. A week later, Kanye's like, okay, Katy Perry in space announcing your new album.
Yeah, I raise you sucking my cousin's dick. Katy Perry, I raise you incest.
I mean, this is the question. Like, it begs the question, like, where are we going? Like, where are we going? I can't believe we're here. Like, we're at the point where like a rap star is promoting his album by talking about blowing his cousin.
I mean, that's it. It's just like what are we going to see next? Like just a straight up snuff film? Someone's just going to self-immolate on Instagram Live, and that's going to be like, I don't know, Billie Eilish announcing her next album or some shit. Like who knows? I have no fucking idea where people can really go next.
It's like scat. It's got to be like somebody's going to be pooping on camera
It's
or
like
something.
reenacting Two Girls, One Cup.
That's right. That's right. It'll be like Miley Cyrus and Chapel Roan doing Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh, God. I'd like to personally apologize to Miley Cyrus, Chapel Roan, and Billie Eilish.
Listen, if you want to sell tickets, Mira, in this media environment with all of its noise and fractalization, you have to be willing to cut through with a campaign that really gets people's attention.
That's right. I mean, it's really true. You know, you gotta get people's attention. And it's crazy to me that the least insane part of this tweet basically is that he killed a pregnant lady and now he's in jail.
Wait, and Kanye's cousin killed a pregnant lady.
Yeah, and now he's in jail. Like,
which is like Manson family-esque, you know? Like, who kills a pregnant lady? Like, come on.
I mean, if you're somebody who like wants to commit a double homicide, it is a very efficient use of time. It's like it's two birds, one stone, you know?
If you're a homicidal maniac looking to commit double homicide, but you're short on time,
try killing a pregnant lady.
Good God. Yeah, it's funny. Like the fact that his cousin killed a pregnant lady, we just kind of like, people just gloss over that because it's like, oh, I can't believe he blew his cousin. But
yeah, but also his cousin killed a pregnant lady. So don't know how that connects either. Did he just want to make sure that like people can identify which cousin it is if they want to look him up? Like, why say that? Yeah.
Did he like run this by his cousin before he decided to go public?
I'm sure he didn't. Like, that would be insane. Imagine the cousin being like, yeah, this is a good song. And the lyrics are just, I sucked my cousin's dick. I sucked my cousin's dick. Like,
it's only, but you know what? I'm now thinking about this. Like, if it's true, and I tend to believe that it probably is, like, I think Kanye's unhinged.
Yeah.
But if he is just an attention whore and he's like, how am I going to get everybody to pay attention to me in some kind of like crazed way? He would be like, yeah, I'm just going to make up this story. If this whole thing is fictional, that would be slightly funny in a very twisted way.
So dark. That would be it would be almost darker than it being true, would be if it was a lie. It's so fucking dark. It's insane.
But it would be like some kind of like performance art thing where it's like, yeah, this is what the culture wants. Like they want. But I don't think he's doing that. I think he's too insane to do anything that's even that calculated. I think he just like fired this tweet off in 2 seconds and then made a song where the lyrics are, I gave my cousin head over and over. What's the new album called?
So the new album was supposed to be called, or was going to be called, World War III. And he's now changed it, and it's going to be called Cuck. All capital letters.
Why do that word eludes? What I never understand. Cuck is just when you're a guy and your wife is cheating on you and you've been cucked. Is that right?
Well, so as this Brad learns, ready? Brad learns.
What does cuckold mean?
I think like people use it like in a very general way now to just mean like somebody who's like, you know, being their wife is fucking somebody else. But generally a cuck would be somebody who's watching his wife fuck someone else.
Oh.
Who like wants to like sit and watch his wife, you know, not, I guess, cheat, but like fuck somebody else. And that's like a cuck, and it's looked down upon, I guess, which it does seem weird, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to do that. So I don't know if Kanye is under the belief that what he did with his cousin is cuckolding. Does he know what cuck means?
I can't say that I'd be confident that he does, but
I mean, we can't be confident about literally anything about this man. It's like, I guess we can be confident that he's like going to do something insane. But besides that, he could do literally anything, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Does he have? This is like maybe a larger question of interest with regard to like the cultural environment that we live in right now. Does Kanye West have institutional support from anybody in the music business? Like, are there record companies that are supporting him, or is he doing everything independently? Like, nobody can be in business with this guy, right?
I think he's doing everything independently. But like, what's crazy is like he was nominated for a Grammy. like this song, like this year he was nominated for a Grammy. And like this song has Playboy Cardi on it, who is like not nobody. That is like another rapper who is relatively famous. I know who they are. So like I think nobody wants to seem like they're giving him any institutional support, but I think he must have some level of it.
Maybe in like hip hop world, he's got a lot of. I mean, he's made a lot of friends over the years.
Got support from Diddy.
Diddy.
Him and Diddy are best friends. Like, and in this fucking same Twitter meltdown that he had, he was like asking for custody of the kids. So he goes out and he's like, I sucked my cousin's dick until we were 14. And then also says, I deserve custody of the kids because they went to Kylie Jenner's house on Christmas. And he's claiming that Kylie Jenner had a Playboy magazine within arm's reach of every kid at Christmas, which, like, I'm sorry, he's literally having like hallucinations. He is seeing things that are not there. That simply didn't happen. I seem to remember her having a framed Playboy poster, like a vintage one, like the like a cover, like maybe it was Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, or something like that. But like,
wait, did Dolly Parton do Playboy?
I want to say she did because I can distinctly remember what her cover was, but I don't think that she went full nude for it.
No, she's not. She doesn't do topless stuff.
No. I think she was like looking hot, like she was wearing like the bunny corset or whatever, but I don't think that she was nude. Like, I think she was like, she was just looking sexy in Playboy. And so I don't know if that's exactly who she has even, but that might be what Kanye's talking about, I guess. Like, that's what he's having like dissociative episodes about. I can't, because clearly, like, I'm sorry, like, Kylie Jenner is supposedly a billionaire, and I don't like her, and I don't want to defend her, and I hate that Kanye is putting me in the position of defending her. But it seems to me that she is not a pedophile, and so accusing her of doing some weird pedophilia shit is really not okay. Like, you really just cannot be accusing people of pedophilia left and right. Like, that's wild.
And how does Kim Kardashian explain this shit to her kids? I feel bad for these kids. Like, this is their dad, and he's tweeting this stuff out. Like, he's lost his damn mind.
Yeah, like how? Yeah, exactly. How does she explain that to the fucking kids? I think he doesn't have custody of them right now, rightfully so, because he's being fucking insane. And I mean,
like, if I'm Kim Kardashian, I'm printing that tweet out and like taking it to a judge and Child Protective Services and just being like, yeah, we can't do this.
He deserves to not have custody of his kids. He should not be around those kids. It's crazy. Like, as much as like they're safer with the nannies, just leave them with the nannies. And Kim, they're much safer. Don't bring them around Kanye. It's insane. He's out of his fucking mind. He's
just trying to think. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, are these kids old enough to be on social media? Do they have awareness? Like, some of them are, right?
I think I know Northwest is on social media to some degree. I think she does try to shield them like from social media as much as she can from the show, apparently. But I don't think she can all the way. Like, I think like she has all her iPads locked and shit like that. But Northwest is like 13 or something. They're going to find out. And like other kids at school, like, come on.
These kids go to school like, hey, I heard your dad blew his cousin.
It's not funny, but like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's just egregiously irresponsible. It doesn't make any sense to do that. There's no I mean, even if it did, like, fucked up things happen, incest is real, whatever.
I'm sure it did happen. It seems real, but like, why are you using it to promote a song called Cousins? Like, that is just like mind blowing. Like, you had like a real incident of like a sexual trauma or whatever, and you're like, here's my song Cousins. I blew my cousin. I blew my cousin. I blew my cousin. What the fuck, dude?
Hang on a second. I'm Googling Kanye West record label.
I think he's independent for sure. Because he's been like releasing like fucking albums where what's his last album? Wasn't it a swastika for a cover? Maybe it's this album.
Okay, so I think he's got his own record label called Good Music.
Yeah, that sounds.
It's called
great.
Good as an acronym standing for Getting Out Our Dreams. His dream is a dream about his cousin.
Suck every cousin's dick in all of America.
In my vision of America, all cousins will blow each other.
That I wonder if we'll be seeing Kanye West running for president, and if we'll see RFK as his vice president. Out here like, Kanye sucked his cousin's dick for 14 years.
It was the vaccines that made Kanye blow its cousin.
It was a vaccine injury.
I want Kanye. I really do want Kanye to just like show up in Vatican City and bum rush the conclave. Like that I would cheer for. Like demanding to be elected the new pope.
Running through the doors full speed. Hold on. Stop the vote.
What do you call those like impromptu dance parties that like happen at like subway platforms? Mob? Yeah, I want there to be like a flash mob in St. Peter's Square where Kanye performs Cousins live for the first time, like as the black smoke is like piping out of Sistine Chapel.
And the popes come out and they're like, what the fuck, you guys? Like, we leave for 5 fucking minutes and he's out here rapping about sucking his cousin's dick in the Vatican. Are you serious?
And there's all these like hot priests dancing, just
feeling the vibes like they're at a Grateful Dead concert.
That's the moment. That's the healing moment that this world needs.
They're like, yes, pedophilia, childhood incest. Like, we love it. Let's go. Let's go, girls.
Well, I mean, on that note, it's been another interesting conversation. I feel like we're really doing good. We're doing good work here. I think we can both feel it. I think the audience at home can feel it. I think we've really covered some important ground today. Yeah. And I thank you for your insights and your compassion.
Yes, and podcast sent.
Podcast sent.